What does it mean to imbibe and live the Tata Code of Conduct? We engage with Tata leaders to find out the importance and impact of Tata values in the business and how it is seamlessly imbibed into their professional and personal lives. Join us on Code Bytes, Conversation on Tata Values, a podcast to inspire us to live by the Tata values.
Tata Code of Conduct and our values underpin everything we do, and our leaders inspire us in our journeys, both personal and professional. I'm privileged to have with us today Mr. Vinayak, MD and CEO of Tata Projects, to share some of his experiences and how our values help us navigate ethical dilemmas. Thank you, Vinayak, for being here with us today. Let me start by asking which of the Tata Group's core values resonates most with you and why?
Thank you, Pratiksha. All the Tata Group's core value really resonate very strongly with me. But the one I really want to talk about is responsibility, which also translates into the value of accountability at TPL. This is actually very important to run successful businesses, and it in a way leads to the other values, because if there is a value of accountability which is firmly embedded into organizations and individuals, doing the right thing and standing by it becomes second nature, and that actually leads to very strong organizational values.
What you said also reflects in the values that we have articulated at Tata Projects. Moving on, can you share with us how your commitment to ethical values shaped your own career? Maybe any anecdote on how it helped you in personal or professional life?
In terms of ethics, I believe it's not always about doing things for personal enrichment. Many a times I reflect on the fact that we make compromises to achieve better business results. And that actually is where most of our ethical issues come from. And early on in my career as a young project manager, I had an incident in which one of the letters which our customer asked me to give it to them was misrepresented for evading tax. And I had to undergo a sales tax audit, and that really brought it home to me that whatever we write or whatever we say, if the element of truth is not there, just don't do it.
Yeah, it's so rightly said. Aligning our own conduct to our own values helps us to improve our life's satisfaction quotient. As our CEO, can you share with us how does TPL live Tata Code's values and how does it plan to continue living it going forward?
The values are not meant to be just on posters or in documents. They are supposed to be lived by each and every individual in the organization, day in and day out. And this is where we have to all lead by example. I think we have also reflected on the fact that we should not only live the values but also evaluate people on these values formally. So our whole performance evaluation process goes through evaluation of every individual based on the core values, which I think brings real focus and impetus into living those values for everyone.
Yes, learning from what you said, leaders in an organization play a crucial role by role modeling these values and leading by example. Having said that, I believe it's equally important to bring other stakeholders together with us on this journey. In your views, how does an organization ensure that its employees and value chain partners are equally committed to the company's vision and values?
It's extremely important because our customers, our suppliers, our partners, they all have to live these values with us. So in many cases, when we engage formally with our whole supply chain, we make it clear to them through valid documentation about the values and what we expect them to do. We also use that as a pre-qualification criteria to evaluate who can work with us. And I think our brand is also so powerful that the people who work with us understand it intuitively, but at the same time, we have to, make it very clear explicitly every time we work with them.
Thanks, Vinayak. Before we conclude, any last word of advice for Tata Group employees for imbibing the group's core values, especially when one is faced with ethical dilemmas?
I think it's a habit which we have to cultivate, and it's not only about when you are in the office or when you are doing work. These values are really simple, and if you live it and work around those values with your families, I'm sure it will lead to a much more peaceful life, and people will be able to be very happy in the way they exist and make a difference to the society they work in.
Thank you, Vinayak, for this inspiring chat. With this, let's continue to hold our heads high and follow the Tata way. Be safe, be happy. Pratiksha signing off.
It is often stories like this that reaffirm our commitment to the Tata Code of Conduct. We hope you enjoyed listening to this podcast. Spread the good word and watch out for the next insightful episode of Code Bytes. Conversation on Tata values.